we're live now. So to be able to create a bucket, you can find S3 here in the recently visited. Let's see if I can see how. One moment, guys. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, now it's much better.
Yes, I'm using my headphones now. Okay, good. So we're here in the console, so you can type here S3, or you can find them here under recently visited, right? So I can click here, and then I don't have any bucket right now, so I'm gonna create a bucket. So I click here, create a bucket, or here. Either way is fine. Okay. So right now I'm gonna give it a name. Remember that the bucket name must be unique and must not contain any spaces or uppercases. So you can use dashes in between if you want to. So I can say maybe my bucket test trainer 2021. All right, that must be unique, I guess. Right. So here we have the region where my data is going to reside. Several regions here that I can use. I'm going to use Northern Virginia. Okay. Now I have a bunch of settings here that I can change, right? But I'm going to do that now. For now, I'm going to create a bucket. That's all I need to do, right? Later, I can add things to the bucket, right? So create a bucket. And basically a bucket is a container. It's a container where I'm going to upload objects and objects and objects, right? Remember that objects can be up to 5 gigabytes in size, no more than that, right? And I can upload as many objects as I want, as long as they are less than 5 gigabytes, right? Less or equal to, okay? So I'm going to go ahead here and click on the bucket, and I have here in the bucket, I have several things that I can do. I have several tabs here. For now, I'm going to upload a bucket, an object. So I'm going to upload this here, right? And right here, I can add a file, and that's going to open this right here, probably this one. Why not? And then that will do that. I can have some permissions here. If I want, I can have some properties here, put it in the class that I want. By default, guys, is store in standard. That's by default, okay? Because it's just recently uploaded. So it has to test it first to see how frequently this file is accessed, and then we can move it from class to class, right? And I'm gonna show you how to move that. So I can enable a server-side encryption, which is not enabled. But I'm not going to do any of that right now. So I'm going to upload the file. So as you can see here, is a very small file. It's only 125.2 kilobytes, right? And the type is an image, JPG, I'm sorry, and it's succeeded, and there's no error here. Now, if I click on the object will have a URL, as you can see here. So I can give you this URL, and you will be able to download it in your computer. But the problem is that right now, this object is private, and my bucket by default is private. So if I click on this, I get an access denied error code. I can give whoever gets a hold of this URL will not be able to download anything because I made it, or I didn't make it. It's implicitly private. right? It comes private by default. So what I can do is make the bucket public, right? Which is not recommended, right? It's there are other ways, but for the sake of the demonstration, I want to make this bucket public. So I'm going to go here and come to permissions right here. And then in permissions, all the public access is blocked. As you can see here is on. What I can do is unblock it, right? Unblock it here. And then I save the changes. I have to confirm because this is a very dangerous operation, right? I'm making my bucket public, right? So now my bucket is public, as you can see here, off. Let me go back to the object and try to download it now, right? And I still get an access denied. And then I wonder why I just made my bucket public. Yes, you made it public, but your object still private. So you have to both make your bucket public and make your object public. So now I have to come here where it says object actions and make it public right here, right? So I make the object public. When public read access is enabled and not blocked by block public access settings, anyone in the world can access the specified object. So I'm going to go ahead and make it public. So right now, my bucket is public and my object too. So if I go to the object and then try to click here, I will be able to see the image, right? So now I can go ahead and guys, give you this particular file or URL. I'm going to post it here, and then you will be able to see it on your end, right? So that's an image that you guys can see anywhere. So if I want to share a file with you, and at the same time I want to store it in a durable, highly scalable, highly available solution, I use an S3 bucket. Okay, I use it there, right? Now, this is how you can create a bucket and upload a file, right? Now we have other things here that we can do, right? Right now, my bucket doesn't have server-side encryption. It means that whatever I upload is not encrypted on the server side. It doesn't land in my bucket encrypted. It doesn't, right? Because it doesn't have server-side encryption enabled. So what I can do is come to permissions, and right here, it's in properties, not permissions. In properties, I can go ahead and say, well, I want to enable default encryption. So I'm going to go ahead and edit here, right? And enable encryption, right? Now I have two choices here. I can use Amazon S3 key, server-side encryption S3, which is an encryption key that Amazon S3 creates, manages, and uses for you, or you can use AWS Key Management Service, KMS, which is an encryption key protected by AWS Key Management Service. I'm going to leave this one selected by default. If you want to learn more about this, you can click these links here, and it will give you more information about these guys, right? For now, I'm going to encrypt the key or encrypt the files with this type of encryption. Save the file, and now encryption is enabled. Now, the file that I have loaded before, the object that I loaded before, right? This object, see here, is not encrypted, right? Because it was uploaded before server-side encryption was enabled. Now, what I have to do is upload another file, and then I will see how the files are encrypted, right? I'm gonna go ahead here and add another file, any file, this challenge Python one, okay? And then properties, I see the server-side encryption uploaded. Now the file has been uploaded here. And if I click on it, I see here that server-side encryption is enabled. So this file is encrypted, right? Now, there's something annoying here. When I have permissions here, I can give permissions to the object owner. Everyone can see it. See the object owner can read and write for object ACL access control list. But everyone, public access or authenticated user group, cannot do anything. So I can edit that if I want to. Versions, I don't have versioning enabled. And I can go ahead and show you how to do that because versioning is very important. So don't forget what we have done. We created an object, we gave it a name, right? And then we enable server-side encryption for every single object that is uploaded in this bucket will be encrypted, and meaning that it will be protected, right? So don't forget that this is what we did